thank y'all for joining me today. Ms. Peters has been telling me about the amazing work you guys have been doing, really diving into characters and how they interact with each other and kind of how that drives the story. But that can be really, really complex and really kind of a complicated thing. So we're going to dive into that a little bit more today. And I want to teach you how one character acts, impacts, and affects how another character acts or thinks. Okay? And it can help us understand each character a little bit more. So our I can statement for this lesson is going to be, I can understand how one character's actions impact another character. Just take a quick second and talk with your shoulder partner. Kind of how do you feel about analyzing characters in a book? Do you feel pretty comfortable? Do you feel a little iffy about it? Just really quick. Okay, you do. So you two, and then you two. Just quickly tell your partner, how do you feel about analyzing how a character is acting in a story and how it impacts the other characters? Are you comfortable with it? Is it uncomfortable? Is it hard to tell? Hard to tell. Okay, it can be hard to tell. Great job, guys. I heard a lot of y'all say it's hard to tell, and I'll tell you, even as a grown-up sometimes, I'll read a book and I'm like, ooh, what's going on here? What do they think about this other character? So this is a really good thing for us to work on getting better at. So one of my favorite books, and I know y'all read it this year, is Woman Before. That book, I love. You didn't finish it? Just, well, we're going to talk about the end a little bit, so we'll see if you got there or not. But it is one of my favorite books, and we're going to talk about those characters in there and see if we can use those characters to help understand each other. And one way we're going to do that, let me give you a little graphic organizer I made. We're going to think about a character and then their action, so something they do, and then we're going to think about another character and how they respond to that action. I'm sorry. You don't even need to write it down. Pass that to Ms. Peters. Thank you. So I'm going to read something, and while I'm reading, this time y'all don't have to do anything. You could actually tuck your pencils under your legs so they're out of your way. And you're going to choose how you're going to be the best learner. Sometimes we learn best by listening to the other person read. I'm going to read aloud to you and tell you about my thinking. But if you learn best by reading along while I'm reading, you can read along too, because I'll give you something from the book that we're going to read. And while I'm doing it, I'm going to think, what did the person do? What is their action? Then I'm going to think about the other person I'm reading about. What was their reaction to it? Then I'm going to try to see, can I come up with any ideas or theories? Was there a lesson that came from that? Was there a change that happened in the character because of that? So I am going to read to you guys a little part. It's from the end of the book, page 125.
Oh, I have the book at my house.
Do you remember? There's an invisibility cloak over that, so you just pay attention to me, right? Okay, so I'm going to read, and sometimes I take notes while I read because that helps me and kind of helps me draw attention to things and focus on what I'm reading. Hey, he said sharply. He heard Jessie at the top of the stairs, but she didn't come down. Do you want to call this whole thing off? He asked. What? She shouted. This lemonade war, he said. Okay, so I'm just pausing here a minute and thinking, they've been having this war. It's been a big fight. I want to see who wins. And now I'm kind of feeling like, ooh, he's kind of proposing something new. Do you want to call it off? So he's just saying, let's quit this, basically. Okay, I'm going to keep reading. Call it off? Yeah, he said. Just say nobody wins and nobody loses. Jessie walked down the stairs and stood with her arms crossed. Evan looked at her. He missed her. He had spent the whole day, the third to the last day before school started, by himself. It stunk. It totally stunk. If Jessie had been around and they hadn't been fighting with each other, they could have played air hockey or made pretzels or made a marble track with twice as many gizmos that launched the marble into the bullseye cup every time. Jessie was very precise. She was good at getting the marble to go into the cup. What do you say, he asks. So he really is thinking this, that he's really kind of trying to convince her, let's quit this. Jessie looked puzzled. I don't know, she said firmly. You see, Megan kind of, well, she... Evan felt his face go hot. Megan Moriarty? Every time he thought of her, his throat got all squeezed and scratchy. It was like the allergic reaction he had if he accidentally ate shrimp. So I'm noticing kind of a change here. I'm seeing a change. He kind of was like happy-go-lucky, hey, let's quit this. And now all of a sudden he's gotten kind of angry. You told Megan Moriarty about everything, he asked, feeling itchy all over. No, well, what everything? Asked Jessie. Evan thought she looked like a fish caught in a net. You did. And suddenly Evan knew exactly why Jessie had been smiling when she walked in the door, and why she didn't want to call off the war. She had done it again. She had figured out some way to show the world just how stupid he was. Like the time he'd come home with 100% on his weekly spelling quiz. The only time he'd ever gotten every word right. To find that Jessie had won a statewide poetry writing contest. He'd thrown his paper in the trash without even telling his mom what was the thing. I kind of feel like here he's kind of angry and sad by the end. Now I'm going to look at my little graphic organizer and see if this kind of helps me. So first of all, my character that did something in the beginning was Evan. And y'all don't have to write this down. This is my example. You're going to write one down in a minute. So Evan was the character, and his action was he proposed that they call off the war. Okay? So he said, come on, let's just cancel this war. But then the next character is his sister Jessie. And how did she respond when he said off the war? She was like, well, Megan Moriarty. So she said no, and she reveals that she's told Megan. So I'm going to write that. Reveals. She told Megan. That's kind of what happened. That's what the author told me. But now the deep thinking part I have to do as a reader. I have to think about, kind of through that interaction, what changed, or what did I learn about the characters. So I saw Evan go from kind of being happy, thinking he had a solution that they could kind of get along again, to being angry. This last paragraph told me a whole lot. It kind of told me that he was jealous, and kind of maybe he had some feelings that didn't even have to do with this war, of kind of feeling in competition with his sister. And that this interaction kind of just made him feel that when he found out his sister told Megan, he kind of felt embarrassed. Like, oh, something else has happened to make me look like the not as good kid again. So I'm going to put my kind of a lesson in change. I'm going to put that he got angry. And I'm going to put my theory that kind of I think he's jealous of her. And that probably kind of maybe his feelings are a little hurt. I'm going to keep reading the rest of the book later to see if kind of this theory plays out. Is this really an interaction I see the characters doing? So before you guys read a section and try this, I want you to talk to your partner. What is something you saw me do when I was reading and taking notes that you want to apply when you read a section in just a minute to help you understand the characters' interactions? Share with your partner. What is something you saw me do? Some stuff I wasn't even thinking of. I heard y'all say that kind of I almost acted it out and used a lot of inflection when I was reading. That helps you understand, especially when there's a lot of dialogue like this and it's switch persons. You really do have to pay attention. And I kind of stopped and jotted and thought about each one. Those are some great things. And then I thought about each character's actions, and then at the end, how did that impact each other? Okay. Now you guys are going to have a chance to try this. We're flipping of chapters back in the book, and now we're going to read something else that happens. And you guys are going to read it, and you guys can jot notes to help you understand, and jot on your little graphic organizer ideas you have. What does one character do, and what is the other character's reaction to it? And what are some ideas you have, or changes, lessons, or things you learned about the characters? Okay, so you guys go ahead and start reading. you're doing each character.
She was identical together with one woman, and I think Cora was thinking of Tracy. He was back when she was away when she was in Christmas, play school, spring break. It looks like a giant bongo drum with a square off the top. And it's stickers.
Spigot, that's kind of weird. Can you tell what the spigot might be? It's like a cooler with a spigot at the bottom. Do you think that might be a piece of ingredient? Have you ever seen decorating something and then there's something at the bottom?
Like in the
Yeah.
cafeteria.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the part of the good job. I understood that part is just, so what's going on? What is Ellen doing?
He's playing up the stand.
And the speech is kind of someone a little bit lemonade. What is he telling in this section of them?
He's
That's a good question. So, what is his plan? What's his plan?
wants to beat Jesse, so he makes it look like bigger.
Right, so he is at a lot of lemonade, so he's like doing a pretty bold move, trying to sell a whole lot, right? So now start thinking about how Jesse might be doing. He has his own plan to sell that lemonade. How might Jesse be?
So,
Maybe so. Maybe a word, she words. Yeah. What are you thinking?
So much hands. He's not, and he's going to do it all again.
Okay, so what was the first character that kind of did that? Who's the character that did something in the beginning? What did Evan do? Yeah, he like upped his game, right? He got a lot of points. But I didn't think about what was Jesse's reaction.
Jesse was so easy, it was because the kids like that fully up and
Okay, so let's put Evan. Tons of lemonade. So what do you kind of learn? So if you got a lot of lemonade and you're saying she got an Evan. Got nervous, okay? And so what can I tell you about these characters? How do you learn? And you don't have, this is just notes. You don't have to write lots of sentences, just enough to know that you're So how did you respond? What does that show us? Okay. Alright, so there are kind of hurry up and self-eliminate, but tell me, I think, deeper about them as a character. How do you think they're feeling about each other, or about themselves even? How do you think Jessie's feeling that she goes and gets buttons about the lemonade? So how is she feeling? That's what she's doing. She's trying to destroy his chance of winning. So how do you think she's feeling right now? Mad, right? Any with someone and feel like they might win, how else might you feel? So think about what are some lessons or some things you learned about the characters when you're seeing this? You're really trying to win something and it's looking like you might not win. How else might you feel? Think about soccer. When you play soccer, think what like you're not getting that. How do you feel? Here, look at my face. When you're in a soccer game and the other team is beating you, how do you feel? You said angry. Tell me what other word that you feel. Oh, so it might kind of get you energetic and held up and kind of competing. Y'all can kind of stop wherever you are, okay? Now you're gonna share with your partner. All of you wrote down kind of what happened. Evan brought his A game. He brought all this lemonade and he has a good plan. Jessie kind of freaked out a little bit, got mad, and she's putting bugs in his lemonade. But now I want you to talk to your partner. What did we learn about the characters, or what do you know about the characters? Or even, how might someone feel if they're putting bugs in someone's lemonade? How might you feel to be doing that? Share with your partner what you know about the characters. If you put bugs in someone's drink, if you're desperate, do you think you'd be feeling bad about yourself? You can't be desperate, right? Right, you might be having something toxic. How about your voice? What did you bring? Oh, that is kind of like a low blow. That's not really playing fair, is it? So have y'all ever felt that feeling, like so frustrated with something you're kind of willing to cheat?
Not really.
Never felt the temptation to cheat? Oh, I know, I've felt tempted to cheat in a family game or something. So that's good that you had it. That's great. Come back on the gas. Most of us have felt the temptation to cheat in Candyland or something. Okay, guys, so I love that y'all really saw what the two characters did, and then this is hard, really thinking about how those characters might feel. And these girls have talked about that just might not be feeling really great about herself either. Have y'all ever made a choice, like to win or something, but they don't necessarily feel good about that choice? She might not feel good about that. So that is what readers do, though. They really think deeply about the characters and how they impact each other, and really think about how that's impacting the story. So the next thing that y'all read, I want you to let yourself, don't just think about the words on the paper, think deeply about what's going on with the characters, how they impact each other, and how they change.